All right. Welcome back to the Built to Grow podcast. I'm your host, Tim Lyons Jr. in studio. Hello. Welcome back, guys. Joined. Hey, man. Haven't seen you in a while. Randy Angston's joining us today. How are you?
Oh, hey, Guy. Long time no see.
Hey, Guy. Hey, we got a big episode today. So before we get into that actual topic of what we're talking about today, where you're going to want to buckle up and take some notes on this one, we want to let you know about our coaching program, because this is literally a part of our coaching program, this episode. So if you're a gym owner, you find yourself working in the business, you want to kind of remove yourself, you want to systematize things, you're not quite making the money you want to make, you're just not quite there yet. Check out winninggym.com/grow. The good news is we've structured our coaching program into kind of a group setting. We always start you out with a one-on-one call. It's called our Decade in a Day, where we break down your entire business. That's me and you. You get with Randy and do some mindset coaching, and then we'd roll you into the group coaching. So you're definitely going to get some hands-on attention. winninggym.com/grow. Yeah, if you're interested in that, I mean, we've got some openings now, right? We just graduated 2 clients last week, so we are ready to take on more. winninggym.com/grow. Check it out.
Yeah, today's topic is going to be a good glimpse into an aspect of what that program's like.
Right. So let's overview the entire coaching program. In fact, the entire gym business. We've identified really 4 systems you got to nail. Okay, four systems. It's your attraction, which is your marketing systems, your sales process, which is conversion systems, your delivery systems, and then your Ascension. Today we're talking about Ascension, and the global overarching concept of Ascension is, how do we get people from never hearing about us in the market all the way up to paying us our highest level, whatever that is, high ticket, one-on-one coaching, unlimited semi-private, whatever your highest price point is. In this day and age, we know that there's a finite amount of clients in the market that are always kind of looking for your services. Doesn't it make sense to monetize or grow your revenue per client that you already have in your gym? Right? There's 3 ways to make more money. We've talked about it. One of those ways is to get your current clients paying more. Now, you could, of course, do a global price raise. That's a little aggressive sometimes, but you have other services, or you should have other services that you can give them more attention, more hands-on support, and for them to get better results.
Yeah, that's the way that I break it down for our clients as well, too, because there should be a good understanding. The idea is not just to squeeze more money out of somebody; it's to ascend them up your value ladder. Each time somebody steps up a true rung of your value ladder, 2 things have to happen simultaneously, or 2 things do happen. Your business has an opportunity to make more money, right? Like Tim's point, right? We're making more money for that service, more accountability, but then that's the other half, right? So then the client has a greater opportunity at a better result, meaning more proprietary attention. Maybe you're layering in nutrition or accountability, something. The client is getting more for that value that they're paying. That's going to provide them a greater result.
Correct.
The systems around that, though, is what we're going to get to today. Not just, you got to look at your business and understand your value ladder, but then how do you actually bring clients from maybe not even in your 4 walls, right? But how do we get them in there and then ascend them up that path?
Right, exactly. And so this concept's called the value ladder. And if you just picture kind of like a stair stepping, or even a ladder, right? Like something that's going from bottom left to upper right, like a line up the page, on the very, very left-hand side, at the lowest point, these are things like in your marketing that you would give away for free. So like, for example, this podcast is the lowest rung on our value ladder. We want to give you value within each particular piece of marketing that you're getting some result, right? You have to picture when you're giving away content or you're producing content that has some value within itself. It needs to be a full circle value that somebody can take what you're giving them and get some type of result with it, right?
A good way to think about that too, when you're looking for the lower, easier deliverable stuff, or the things where you may not actually have to exchange time for that value, because that's really where these lowest hanging fruit are, type of thing, right? The lowest deliverables. They're info products. they're do the work once type of thing and let everybody reap the benefit over and over, right? We record this podcast right now. You guys could flip this on as many times or as many people over and over. Tim and I are not repeating the conversation ourselves. That's why we can give this away each week, right? Now, figure out some of that. How do you come up with some of that content? What is the same stuff that you do, you teach, you coach, you do on the floor that provides the value? Provide that information without the coaching is a great way to just get started, right? So you have the information, you know the information, provide that to your marketplace or your audience. And now at least the value of what you can get later with the coaching and the actual application that you come in with. But now they have the information and they can digest, do some of that work on your own, much like you are with this information, see a reward, but we don't have to be the ones teaching, coaching, holding your hand. That's the way you should go about content in your place.
Yeah, great, kind of synopsis of that. Now, if that's on the bottom left, all the way on the other side of the value ladder is your highest ticket product, something that they get the most attention with. They get more opportunity for results. Because that's the overall, that's the thing. If you were to say, hey, somebody could get a result down here on the bottom left, if they just did the work. At the top right, they are definitely going to get results because you're going to make sure it happens. And so that's the kind of, each end of the spectrum.
The bookends, if you will.
Right. Yeah. Now, within the middle, you've got all these different types of things. And if you were to start kind of down towards the bottom, you've got things that then can become what we would call tripwires or small ticket kind of like front end offers that somebody could get something from you. Maybe it's a service, maybe it's an ebook or a course. Right? Maybe they pay some small fee to get
$7 to $97 somewhere there. Sure.
And then they kind of move up and maybe there's a paid trial, right? There's a paid trial for $150. They get, some amount of time with you and then they have to decide to move on or not. As you continue to move up, maybe this is your lowest price point. Maybe it's a $99 or $199. Then you start moving up. It's more frequent. It's maybe semi-private training. Maybe it's twice a week or even 3 times a week. And then as you get up higher, then it's unlimited, and then it's nutrition. Then it's all these other add-ons, right? So if you understand the concept of the path.
Yep.
You have to take a look, and this is something we do in our coaching program, is we ask everybody to kind of draw this out for us and send it in as homework, right? Like, where are you at on this thing? Can we add things in here? Do you need to go downhill a little bit further? Do you need to go uphill further? That's where we analyze this and we start helping gyms decide, what are the kind of the rungs, right? Yep. And a lot of people miss the boat, at 2 places. They miss the high end all the time.
Oh, absolutely.
They don't have this really exclusive high end product or service that even if you put it on there, even if nobody bought it, everything else looks a little bit more affordable.
The typical price anchor, right?
Yep, the typical price anchor. But what's funny is that some people will buy that because they want that. They want the best. And if you are positioning this thing up here at the top as your best thing, you can go for home runs here. In fact, you can take somebody from the bottom all the way and skip every step when they come in if they're the right person.
Correct.
And, these are things like, transformation programs that are really hands-on. They get their meals delivered to them. They get, nutrition plans and supplements involved. They get, check-ins every week. And those price points up there can be $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 for, 9 to 10, 12 weeks. And, you only have to sell a few of those to make that thing, worthwhile, right?
Absolutely.
Worthwhile. Now the kicker is like, hey, if you don't have a whole lot of time in your day, you got to make that product serviceable without too much of your time. And so you have to really, really work on kind of creating that. And we'll have a whole nother show on how to create that high ticket deal. But this is the concept, right? Like, how do you get somebody from never hearing about you all the way to the top? There's all these steps in between. And a lot of times people will start in your gym at maybe a once a week style training program. Then the question is, how do they move up?
Yeah,
right?
There you go. Yep. That's a big value.
Yep. And so you've got clients in your gym right now that are at this certain level of program, right? They're buying the service for, let's just throw an example, $299 for twice a week semi-private training right now. But you would really love for them to go to $499 unlimited. How do you do that? Well, there's a couple ways. I can think of 2 ways right off the jump that we can kind of talk about. Number one, something we've been doing for years and it works like gangbusters, is you just meet with a couple of select people each month. You bring them in, Mrs. Johnson, hey, I know you've been with us for 12 months or a year and a half or whatever it is, and you got some great results. But listen, what I want to do for you is I want you to experience kind of the next level.
Yeah.
I'm not going to charge you for it, Mrs. Johnson. Here's why I want to do it, because you've kind of plateaued. We need to get some more frequency out of you, and this is an easy way for you to come try this next level.
Yeah, try before you buy in a way. Yep.
And at the end of that 30 days, Mrs. Johnson, if you want to continue on, we'll just set you up with the new price point. If not, we can just put you right back down to where you were. How's that sound? Of course, they're going to take you up on the offer.
Yeah,
of course. Why wouldn't they?
Giving them more than what they're paying for, essentially, right?
And really, the takeaway here is, guys, that is if they don't ever experience either the frequency or the different modality of training, they're just never going to just jump into it. And so you need to hold their hand, bring them into the office and have a sit down conversation. Just pick 5 people or 10. You'll be surprised, at the end of each month, how many people stay, hey, I really love this. I this new group or whatever it is, these times really work for me. I can make that work.
And if you're really good at it, if you're doing it for the purpose of benefiting your client and understanding that the pay is kind of the secondary, obviously it's our intention. We want to make more money. But if you're not just going to walk into your 4 walls and find the person with the least opportunity for increased results at that next level and try to sell them into something they don't need, right? So consider who are those candidates within your 4 walls that can genuinely benefit from that new additional service, right? Mm-hmm. They need one more rep or one more visit per week type of thing, or the added nutrition or accountability is the one area that they struggle with, right? Like, let's expose the people with the greatest need to the services that they can benefit the greatest. Mm-hmm. Then, as a byproduct, the client gets the results they're looking for, falls in love with that new service, you make more money down the road. And so I think, just keeping that as you're going to select the individuals, don't just do it alphabetically. Like, come up with an idea of who those people are, who should be deserving of these opportunities, because you are investing in their growth. And it's a hope, right, that they're going to like that new service, get those results or want those results, and then move into that pay scale. But it's not going to happen if it's just genuinely, a list of names that are categorically, there's no value behind why, you know what I mean? So, and involve your team. If you're not on the training floor with your team, talk to them. These are your coaches are the ones that are working with these individuals every day. They probably know their struggles a little bit better than you, if that's the relationships. Utilize that stuff, because that's exactly how we go and make the most intelligent decisions with an opportunity like this.
Perfect. In another way, so that's one way. So you just hand select people and bring them in, have that conversation. Another way is to do a global one. And so we call these, call it internal challenge, internal program, and you would charge a fee for it. So for, let's just say, we're going into the holidays. So maybe for the month of November, we're going to do something to kind of help people fend off some of that holiday weight gain, right? And so we're going to create this challenge or this program that, for a buy-in, it could be $150, $200. They're going to automatically get the next level of service for that program. You're going to track them a little bit harder. You're going to maybe put a board up and stickers and all this kind of stuff, some visuals. And then you're going to find out the people that filter uphill from that, there's going to be some percentage of those people, right? And so, again, the point here is get them experiencing the next level.
Yeah.
It's nice when you get a little buy-in, you kind of build some cash reserves and stuff like that. And you could do this globally for the entire gym for the entire month. And that's such an easy way just to look, guys, this doesn't have to be rocket science. It's not, just getting them a reason to try it.
Yeah.
And there you go, right?
And back to the whole, it's got to be, this has to be something that's done for the benefit of the client. It has to be perceived from the position to the client as, this is something that I'm walking away with as a benefit. This is a bonus. This is something that I'm receiving, not, oh, here's an opportunity for me to pay to play type of thing. It shouldn't feel like that to the client. And so, we've done internal challenges like, Candyland type of thing, where we've got board and points, and you can do different challenges along the way. Like, make it fun, make it exciting. And even in that, what do we call them? An internal program, upgrade challenge, something like that. Yeah, there was an upgrade challenge or something like that, where they literally, it was like $50 for the month or whatever it was. Just, it gave them the entire next level of membership and, increased frequency or I guess in our position, it wasn't the changes service anymore, but
Frequency.
Frequency. In this, and at Paul's, I was just going back because it's not like they moved from team to semi here, but in your facility, maybe that is
that's the easiest one.
Oh yeah. You want to move people into to semi-private, take a team training client and expose them to the type of training that happens in semi-private. Now you're going to watch a good portion of those clients ascend into that new deliverable. That is a big eye opener. And it's probably one that we should really pound home, because I think that the big issue now guys, this, let me preface this. We've helped endless gyms make the transition from from team training, MedCon style, hot sweaty rooms to semi-private personal training gyms. That transition is traditionally done with resistance because gym owners don't know how to articulate what semi-private provides. They don't know how to make semi-private fun and exciting for somebody who's been, doing Zumba in a hot sweaty room with 20 other people, jumping around, having a blast. Like, how do I show them that this is where the results lie? And so that transition is another big takeaway. But to somebody who's never done that type of training, to somebody who's never experienced what that deliverable has to offer, they're not going to pay for that unless you expose them to it.
Right.
We've saw that for so long, pounding our heads trying to figure out why is this group of people not willing to pay for this, even though what they need is over in this arena. It's because the style of training is different. It's they need to understand it. They need to experience it. It's not what they've done before. It's not for the same purpose. And if you're trying to sell somebody into that service by kind of, oh, you're going to love it, it's all of these things, it's probably just not going to happen.
Right.
That has definitely got to be something that they have to experience and feel the difference.
Right. And so kind of going a couple steps backwards, you have to take a look at your team training, your boot camp, your metabolic conditioning. It should look, act, and feel differently than what's up at the next rung, right? The semi-private, right? If we're talking about these as two totally separate, call it modalities, if you will, getting metabolic conditioning, everybody's doing the same thing in the group stuff. And then over here, we have program design, undulating periodization or phased strength training programs that live in the semi-private world. Here's the last thing that you can do to kind of get people from down there up to the next level is what we call internal marketing. We have to educate, the clientele that are living in this large group setting as to the benefits and the differences of what semi-private training is and what metabolic team training isn't.
And go back to that. We have to educate our clientele, guys. You are the expert. It's not their job to come into your four walls and know what service is right for them. They're here from a place of desperation. They're looking for help. They're coming to you as the resident expert in fitness, nutrition. You're the person, and you're the caveat to their success. They need to be told what the service that is going to get them the result they're looking for is.
Yes.
Not. Again, it goes back to being prescribing the fix, not being an order taker. You have to be articulate about that. Mrs. Johnson, this is where you should be looking, because this is the service that's actually going to provide you with the results you're looking for this. And you told me that that's what you want, right? So it's not long. We have to create that understanding that they are a different deliverable. Mm-hmm. And I agree, because I think the majority of gyms that we've worked with have actually, they themselves have been confused as to what those two deliverables should look like and feel like.
Or a common problem that we see a lot of times is they over deliver in the team training world. They do semi-private training-esque training, but they just do it with 12 people instead of 4 or 5. And then you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot.
In a way.
Really, you can't. That's going to be the hardest situation. If you're using barbells and dumbbells and kettlebells and all kinds of like strength program, hey, we're going to do 5 sets of 8 on deadlifts today, and that's being done in a large group setting. It's very hard. It can be done. It's very hard to get people to move up, pay more, just because it's the same thing with less people, and it's just not appealing enough.
That's a whole. We should do a whole
show
episode on that one, because there's a lot more we could talk about to that.
Right. And so again, going back to this value ladder, right now you've got to look at what you've offerings, what are the price points, what are the values that they get at each level, and then use one of those three ways that we just told you. We can hand select people, we can do an internal challenge, or we can constantly bombard and educate internally as to the benefits of the next level up. I got a great story about one of our Iron Circle members who's his whole model for 12 years has been large group training. And again, one of those guys that was kind of over delivering a little bit. He'd scaled once we started working together. He started in our coaching program. He's kind of slowly phased it out to where it was really straight metabolic, a lot of body weight stuff going on in the team training. And he would have like fire breathing, diehard boot campers that would come in and they could even do 2 or even 3 sessions in a day and still not be like crushed, right? When we hand selected a couple of those people and moved them into the semi-private world, they couldn't make it through one workout because their just bodies weren't conditioned in that same way. They were very high endurance athlete type clients, but they weren't strong. They weren't, put that bar on their back, put some heavy weight on them. They were crushed. And, those are the type of people that love that. They love being crushed. And so immediately, oh my God, I've never been so sore. That's a bonus to these folks, right? And you've all got them. I had them here where these fire breathing, they would just, and I knew they weren't going 100%, but they were just, going through the motions and getting the work done. You put some weight on their back, on a bar, it crushes them. And so immediately those are the folks that felt different. And they were like, dude, I'd sign me up for the semi-private.
Isn't there a moral obligation too to at least make sure that they're aware that the work that they're doing is not getting them a result or like not benefiting outside of just their emotional state?
I saw it all the time.
I could already think of their names that
I would see clients coming in for years when we did team training, boot camp stuff, and they're here every day. And they were not making any results. And it's because the style of workout, their bodies have completely adapted to this type of modality, and they just needed a change. They needed to get some damn weight on their bar, and that's all it takes sometimes. Let them experience it. So listen, guys, first and foremost, lay out your value ladder. Where are people coming into your ecosystem? Is it the blog content? Is it educational videos that you're putting out? Is it lead magnets? Is it a paid trial? All the way up through all of your service categories. Make sure that they look and feel different. That's the biggest thing that you have to do. Is you can't have metabolic team training look like semi-private training. Have that next level, and then we gave you 3 ways to kind of get people up into it. And so hopefully that helps. I know we can go a lot deeper into this, and that's what we do in our coaching program, but I just want to give you a taste, a touch, to understand like, hey, there's ways to do this, and we've got it. We've done it. Right. And so if you find yourself struggling, like, hey, I want to layer in semi-private training, but I just don't know how, jump on a call with Randy. I mean, really, winninggym.com/grow. It's your easiest way to get this done. And we can get this done in a matter of a couple months, and you'll have a whole new gym for 2023. It's just, you'll see the light. I mean, not just the price points and everything, but your business model becomes simplified, and you got these long-term clients. I mean, we can go into the fact that the clients that pay the most stay the longest versus the team training clients are kind of come and go. Got a whole episode on that if we need to do that in an upcoming show. But hopefully that helps. Maybe it'll give you a kind of the kick in the butt you need to kind of just move into that. Jump on a call with us, winninggym.com/grow. Until next episode, guys, that's it for the show. Keep changing lives. See you on the next one. Bye. All right, and thank you for listening to that episode of the Built to Grow podcast, where we help gym owners win. Now, do you want to connect with me and other gym owners online? All you need to do is join our private Facebook group, Business Talk with Fitness Professionals. Just head on over to Facebook and type in Business Talk with Fitness Professionals. And when you do, we're going to give you our 10 marketing strategies 7-figure gym owners use to win. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Until then, keep building something great.